Chapter 18, Mishnah 7. Having mentioned that foreign lands are Tameh, the Mishnah discusses the status of a land in the region of Syria, an area north of Eretz Yisrael that was conquered by King David and annexed to Eretz Yisrael. For some laws, Syria is considered a foreign land, and for others it is considered like Eretz Yisrael. As for the Tumah of foreign lands, Syria is included in this decree, and a person who goes there becomes Tameh. This Mishnah discusses whether a Jewish-owned field in Syria is exempt from this law. If a Jew buries a field in Syria that is right next to the border of Eretz Yisrael, its status is as follows. If he can enter it in Tahara, that is, he can enter the field directly from Eretz Yisrael without passing through any foreign land, including any other part of Syria, the field is Tahor. Although in general Syria is subject to the Tumah of foreign lands, the sages made an exception for a field that is owned by a Jew. If a person can enter that field without becoming Tameh from the surrounding land. And produce that grows in this land is obligated in Maasros and in Shemitah, just like produce that grows in Eretz Yisrael. However, if a person cannot enter the field in Tahara, that is, he must pass through some of Syria or another land to get to this field, thereby becoming Tameh with the Tumah of foreign lands, this field is Tameh with the Tumah of foreign lands. Since in any case a person cannot get to this field without becoming Tameh with the Tumah of foreign lands, the sages did not suspend their decree for this field, and it too is Tameh. Nevertheless, produce that grows in this land is obligated in Maasros and in Shemitah. Since these obligations apply to all of Syria, even the parts that are subject to the Tumah of foreign lands. The Mishnah turns to a new law. It describes a different type of place that is Tameh by rabbinic law. Homes of idolaters in Eretz Yisrael are Tameh with corpse Tumah by rabbinic law, since we suspect that the idolater might have buried a miscarried fetus there. Thus, if a Jew buys a home from an idolater, he must check the floor for corpses. The Mishnah discusses details of this law. How long must the idolater have stayed in the home for it to require being checked for corpses? 40 days. Since a fetus does not transmit Tumah unless it is at least 40 days developed, the house is not Tameh unless an idolater lived there for 40 days. But if an idolater was in the home for that long, it must be checked, even if there was no woman with him, since idolaters often act immorally, and women might have joined him at night and miscarried in the house. An exception to the above rule. However, if a slave owned by a Jew or a Jewish woman was watching the house to make sure that it was not used for burial, the house does not have to be checked.